Mayor.
This says, Mayor Lemon.
Mayor lemon?
Mayor Lemon? Is that a flavor?
Yeah.
Or premium green?
Tea. I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to do mango passion fruit.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
We're just picking out our tea. And we avoided the millennial pause, which I learned about last week from Morgan.
Literally, I just learned about it now.
I guess we do that a lot, hey? We're just like, oh, here we are.
I'm not a millennial, technically.
You're not a millennial?
No, I'm a zillennial. Like, I'm on the bridge people. Like, I grew up with millennials, but I'm also technically legally a Gen Z.
Do you like being a Gen Z, or would you have rather been a millennial?
If you had asked me like 2 years ago, I would have sworn I was a millennial. But now that everyone's making fun of them on TikTok, I am now a Gen Z.
Wait, what? Who's making fun of millennials on TikTok?
Everyone. Literally everyone makes fun of millennials on TikTok.
Damn it. Really? What are they saying?
That we wear skinny jeans. See, I can't even escape it.
Yeah.
We wear skinny jeans and have a
identify
middle
as
part,
a-
but I don't do either of those, so I clearly don't identify as a millennial. I'm definitely the bridge, though. Like, I feel like that's the one I identify with the most. So zillennials. Zillennials, yeah.
That's funny. Speaking of like millennials, there's a famous comedian on Netflix, and she's like the elder millennial. I forgot what her name. She's coming to Calgary. I'm so excited to see her, and she's hilarious because she like epitomizes everything that a millennial is.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Anyway, nice to see everyone here.
Hi.
Thanks for rolling in. This is our first episode together.
This is. I'm Taina.
I'm Manny. And the parents are not here today.
Yeah.
So, what's the saying? The mice will play.
Well, the cat's away, the mice will play.
The mice will play.
Yeah, before we said this, Manny was like, the dogs will play. I'm like, why do the dogs care what the cats do? The dogs do not care. They're doing their own stuff.
Okay, this is like a preface for everyone. I am chaos loopy energy, so this episode is going to be crazy.
Oh my God. Disclaimer.
It's a disclaimer. It's going to be crazy, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're new here, every week we'll come at you with a main story covering some sort of marketing angle. It could be a summary of new technology, breaking news in the industry, or trends that we're watching. You can catch the show live on Instagram every Thursday around 12:30 MST, or you can listen to the replay every Friday morning on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you want to listen.
She was practicing that and she nailed it.
Thanks, guys. I was really nervous about that part.
Nice.
But let's jump into our first story. Emma Chamberlain's coffee company, Chamberlain Coffee, closes funding at $7 million. Like, I can't even imagine getting $7 million. Looks like venture capitalists are pouring money into YouTube star Emma Chamberlain Coffee, her startup. It was launched in 2019 and it closed at around $7 million in fundraising round. The 21 has nearly 12 million followers on YouTube or subscribers and 16 million followers on Instagram. And 12 million on YouTube is a huge accomplishment. Like 12 million people want to subscribe to watch her daily or weekly vlogs. And I remember her when she was like OG back in the day starting YouTube, and that was like the peak of YouTube era.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of cool to see her like now having the startup and really making something of herself, and not just YouTube. Not that you can't just do YouTube, but just having other like ways of income is actually really important. So yeah.
First off, at 21, I don't even know what I was doing, but she closed a 7, and it said like Series A. I'm not gonna pretend to know what a Series A funding round is, but I'm not raising a Series B, C, D for any amount of millions at 21. So good for her. Yeah. And then you mentioned like 12 million followers on YouTube. I would love for 12 million followers to watch me do my thing day to day, which is awesome. Good for her.
And what's cool for her is that her brand is literally being herself. Like, she can just do whatever and everyone will just like eat it up because that's her brand. She's just relatable, and she just is like living life and going and showing how she's living life. And everyone's like, yep, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
As am I.
I had to ask Taina before the show. I was like, I'm not too familiar with Emma. I've watched like a couple episodes, but the ones that I did, I remember she had like a coffee in her hand. So I was like, is that like a thing where she like is obsessed with coffee? She drinks coffee, and apparently she always has a coffee in her hand, so it's also on brand with, I guess, what she's passionate about and I guess needs.
Very much so. Like, I think, well, I don't know, I haven't watched her like recent vlogs or anything, but back in the day she used to always have an iced coffee. Every single vlog would start with her going to get it and just like shaking it in the video. And it was kind of like ASMR, and I just think it's really cool that she could take something that's super on brand and make or raise $7 million from it, because it's like, it makes sense. Like, Emma Chamberlain having a coffee company just makes sense. It's not like completely out of left field, so good for her.
Yeah,
I'm happy for her.
And what's also impressive is I don't even think they have a brick and mortar store yet, so this is all online, completely online. I'm assuming with the 7 mil, the next strategic move is to build an actual like store. But regardless, that's impressive that she's raised that much just e-com. Right. So I guess she's just selling and shipping, whatever.
They probably have vendors too, though, like Erewhon in LA. Erewhon or whatever the grocery store is called. Like, I'm sure she has like places where you could buy maybe like 1 or 2 to keep it exclusive. People buy anything in LA. Yeah, pretty much. But I think the product's good. I've never tried it. Actually, if Emma, if you're ever watching this, send us some of your coffee and we will gladly consume it. Sponsor us, Emma. Yeah. We'll change to coffee for lunch just for you. Yeah, the parents aren't here, so we can make it whatever rules we want. No more tea for lunch, coffee for lunch. Yeah. But only Chamberlain coffee. Only Chamberlain coffee. Nice. Okay, next story. I don't know how this made it into the script because Mitzi isn't around, but we're talking about Kim K still. Yeah. Kim K is back on our marketing loop game. For those of you that don't know, the reality star just posted her latest giveaway, giving away a whopping $130,000 of a preloaded credit card to one winner. And it's really simple. Honestly, like, that's a huge amount, and all you got to do is follow 75 accounts. 75. Like, I honestly get so annoyed when I have to tag 2 friends, let alone follow 75 accounts. Like, that's just 75 accounts. Like, put that into perspective. 75. Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it until like registered. But it kind of feels scamish. Scamish because it's like, one, she's a really big celebrity, and even it's like, like I don't know how we were talking about like if she's even getting paid for this, but it's part of loop marketing, which is basically a strategy to get a lot of accounts, followers fast. So like a lot of designer brands like Prada, Dior, all of that that's part, I guess, they're in this, right. And if you follow them, then you are entered to win this credit card. That doesn't make any sense to me. It seems very scammy to me, and I want to know if anyone watching this knows someone who's ever won these things, because a lot of celebrities do it. Even Khloe Kardashian posted about it too. Yeah. So I was like, well, like, how much are they paying these celebrities to post? Because isn't like one like Instagram post from Kim K like $1 million? It's like, so how much are you making is this scam worth it to pay Kim K this much money to post on her? And then just put hashtag ad. Hashtag ad. It's like literally this huge blurb, and it's just like hashtag ad. That's like, it. What? I'm so confused. It feels weird. We actually checked before the show too, and like the post is no longer up. I think it's legit, but she deleted the receipts. But we screenshot quick. Come on. This is the internet. We catch everything. Don't go caught lacking. But here's my thought though. Because it's so ridiculous that you have to follow 75 accounts. Yeah. Part of me is just like, there's only 5 people that entered because there's so much work. False. No, you underestimate the amount of people who would do this for $130K. Would you do it? No. Not me. But that's just because I'm lazy. Okay, so I just don't think I'll win. When I win at the end of the week, yes. I'm gonna. Can you share? Yeah, I'll share a little bit. Yeah. Because I'm one of 5 that's entered. Yes. So, but now that we said this here, more people will actually enter. No, don't enter. Don't bother. It's a scam. And then you just want half your winnings. You did 0 work and you're getting half of whatever I win. Exactly. Anyway, there you go. Kim K back in the news. In tech news, this is something that's actually really cool for me. Pinterest debuts their new app Shuffles. It's for collage making and mood board, and I've seen a ton of videos on it on TikTok, and it looks so cool. And this new product is aimed to get users tapping into their own creativity. It's an iOS app, and it's for putting together collages using photos, image cutouts, and other animated effects. And I think it's like really timely that it's coming out now with the like the pic collage video edit that's out right now that everyone's doing. It's kind of similar to that, but just like a photo. But you can still click the individual photos and it'll still lead you to a separate link. So it takes all your photos from like your board and it makes it into this cool little mood board. And it's really aesthetic, but the app is currently only invite only. with a wait list. So you have to get like a certain, like, you have to get an invite from someone who's already using it, and there's also a wait list to get on if you don't get the invite. So you can sign up and just say, I want to do this, but you're probably not going to get it anytime soon.
Why do you think they're doing that?
I think they're doing it to have some kind of exclusivity, and also to keep the people who are on it still creative. And I feel like with Pinterest, Pinterest originally was also invite only, and then they opened it to the masses. And I think they're just trying to do the same thing with Shuffles, just to kind of get people talking about it, making it more exclusive, hard to get in, and then and just keeping the people who really want to use it or should use it. And then eventually they'll open it to the masses and have more people doing it. But it's not really like a money making thing right now. So it's not, you can't advertise on it. It's not really for like brands right now. It's just like, you're just being creative and you're just being fun and you're just doing something kind of wacky and cool and aesthetic. And I think they just want to keep it like that for a bit, and then eventually they'll want to make money. But
Pinterest is all static photos, right? Like they don't do...
No, they do videos.
They do videos?
You can do videos. You can even repurpose your TikToks or Instagram Reels, and you can put them onto Pinterest.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the creatives are happy about this.
It's
kinda,
so cute.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, honestly, I feel like it kind of gives me like Tumblr vibes. I don't know why or what for, but like it's a creative app that I think a lot of people are going to use. I'm still confused as to why it's invite only, but I'm sure
why do you think it is?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe, like it makes it more exclusive, but I would just love to try it and see if I like it. But maybe because they're making it invite only, it's piquing my curiosity a bit, because when I do get in, I'm going to like utilize it a bit more.
Right.
But like you said, it's free, so I don't even know like if there's like a money side to it. But yeah, it's cool. And Pinterest is like a really underrated app. Like, is it an app? I don't know what it is, but it's an app that like I'm sure a lot of creatives use and rely on to stay creative. But for someone like me, I use it to just like look at something and curate something, and I get inspired by a mood board. And I think this kind of just helps with like the curation side of creating. And I think leaders in that space.
Pinterest is like a search engine for me. Like if I want something, like I'm like loafers outfit, and then I found my outfit I'm wearing. So it's like literally that's just what I just use it to search whatever I'm thinking, which I think that's what Instagram and TikTok are trying to be more like, because Pinterest was like the second like biggest search engine, and they also classify themselves as search engines. So maybe they want to do Shuffles as more of like a creative inspiration space, and keep Pinterest as like search engine and more place for like brands and things like that. So maybe that's what they're shifting towards, instead of less of a mood board, and they'll just do Shuffles mood board, and they'll keep Pinterest as like
it'll be cool. It'll be
heard it here first.
We got 4 stories for today, and this is one that you probably have seen circling around the interwebs, specifically TikTok. But last story is Brooklyn Beckham causes stir after appearing in a Daniel Mac TikTok video. For those see chaos energy. For those that don't know, Daniel Mac is a guy who goes around TikTok and basically goes up to fancy cars and just like says, "Hey, you like your car? Like, what do you do for a living?"
I wish I thought of this. I wish I did this first.
It's like it's zero work, but apparently he's making millions.
He's so famous now.
And caught in a $1.2 million McLaren car. Brooklyn Beckham was his, should I say, victim in this case, because he went up to Brooklyn Beckham and was just like, "Hey, I like your car. What do you do?" And he answered. And for those of you that don't know Brooklyn Beckham as well, he is the son of Posh Spice.
Yeah. Victoria Beckham and David Beckham.
Yeah. So he's like
he's a nepo baby.
He's a nepo baby. He's obviously super wealthy. He's come from generational wealth. And his answer to the question, "What do you do for a living?" to justify like this beautiful $1.2 million car is, he says, "I am a chef."
Like, I mean, technically, he's trying to be, so he kind of answered the question. But the whole point of Daniel's TikTok, which Brooklyn has seen, because he said, "Oh, I know you, man. I know you." So he's seen his TikToks.
Yeah.
The whole point is to say, like, "I like your car. What do you do for a living?" so that other people can get this car. Like, what gave you this car, pretty much. So for him saying he's a chef, which all he's done is made a couple little TikTok cooking videos, is like, oh, okay, so you're not rich and you didn't marry rich. You're just a chef.
I actually went back and forth around this, because at first I was just like, well, what is Brooklyn Beckham supposed to say? Because the question was, what do you do for a living? And like, would have the proper response been, "I'm rich"?
Yes, because there's there's obviously like there's a bad way to be a nepo baby, because whatever you do, there's gonna be people are gonna talk about whatever you do or say. But there's a better way to be a nepo baby, and it's just to be aware of who you are. Yeah. So one of the videos that Daniel Mac posted, someone said, like, what do you do for a living? She had a really nice car, and she said, I'm divorced. Like, obviously, it's just funny. It's like you're aware of who you are. Like, she got this car because she got a divorce element. Like, it's just funny. So if he said, oh, I'm the son of Victoria Beckham, or I'm the son of David Beckham, whatever, people would have been like, yeah, that's funny. He is. Like, that makes sense. Yeah. You know, like, no one's going to blame him for that. But if you're saying I'm a chef, which is just his new hobby right now,
true.
It's like, and then even Daniel Mac was like, oh, you must be the best chef in the world to like make this car, because it's like,
did he say that?
Yeah, he's like, you must be the best chef, and he's like, I'm trying to be, and I'm like,
I guess,
sir.
yeah. I guess there's like a self-awareness element to it, and also like, I guess when he says chef, like, chefs traditionally aren't like, it's a really tough industry and like occupation to go into. Like, it's not pretty. It's often gritty, and then for him to be driving like a 1.2 McLaren car and say he's just a chef thinking that people probably won't know that he's also a nepo baby, then he's gonna get smacked around because the internet keeps receipts.
Michelle mentioned, she's like, can we talk about the photography book, which is so true, because he had a lot of hobbies before being a chef. He was a soccer player like his dad, and then he was a model, and then he was a photographer, and he actually got into Parsons, and he was given the opportunity to do this like photography book, and like one of the pictures was like a blurry elephant, and he was like, elephants, beautiful to look at, hard to take a picture of. Like, ooh, he's so artsy. But his latest thing is just being a chef. So it's like, you can't be a chef for 2 seconds and get this kind of car and then just say that that's why you have this car. So that's just why people are upset. And I just think it would have been way more funny if he just said he was rich, or if he just said, I'm literally just living, because he also married rich. So not only are his parents rich, but his wife is also rich. So it's like, I
guess, it sounds tone deaf. Why is Daniel Mac not asking me what I do for a living in my 2014 Toyota Corolla?
What do you do for a living?
I'm a chef. I'm not a chef.
Honestly, I'm gonna start saying that wherever now. And a ton of people are like making, like, to be fair, in his defense, he is trying to be a chef, so maybe he just thought the question was like that, and he didn't mention his last name when he said like, what's your chef name? He's like, oh, like, my name is Brooklyn. So maybe he's trying to get out of like the shadows of his parents and his wife, but
as a chef.
As a chef.
Only.
Well, Salt Bay action.
Yikes. Anyway, thanks for having us, or thanks for being here. Chaos Energy. That's the show. Now that we've wet your palate, go eat something more substantial, y'all.
Bye. The fingers.